Should I take profits? It's such a hard question. In this video, I want to discuss this question. I am specifically talking about when a trade is working in your favor and you're trying to decide, do I take my profits? First off, you should have already had a plan with where your target was. But sometimes price action and things can change a little bit, and maybe you get out before your target, or maybe you think it's going to go past your target. However, I still suggest sticking with your target. Or maybe you're trying to decide, where should I put my target? What's being too greedy on my target? In my opinion, especially for day trading and scalp trading, don't be too greedy. In other words, don't overstay your welcome. Greed is really a dangerous thing to be playing with. Just think about it. If you think about any villain in basically any movie, their one biggest flaw of being their bad guy is they are usually very greedy. Almost every villain you can think of is after more and more power or money. Think of the kids' movie Aladdin. Jafar is clearly after more and more power. Even at the end of the movie, he basically wins and is the ruler. But Aladdin tells him he is not the most powerful person, so he becomes a genie who is the most powerful person. But with that power comes some problems for him. My point of this is that greed is what destroyed him. Look at Aladdin. When he started to feel a little of the power that the genie gave him, he started to forget who he was. He started to focus too much on the greed. He started to get greedy until he was humbled by a series of bad things that happened to him. This is exactly what happens in the stock market. When a trader is greedy, it may work for a bit and seem great. They make all this money, but trading with greed is reckless. A greedy trader will always be humbled at some point. I'm talking about the kind of greed that you are so stubborn that you are on a mission to prove something, like Jafar. He was basically at the top, but he wanted just a little more. That little more cost him everything. In trading, the exact same thing can happen. You feel good and happy about your gains, but you just want a little more. That little more could cost you everything that you just made on that trade. So try to find that point. There is likely a point in your trade that you feel happy with your gains, and it did what you thought, or maybe even exceeded your target. From here, you have to make a decision. Do you hold for even higher, or do you take the profit? Well, the first question to be asked is, am I holding this because I'm greedy? Or am I holding this because it's part of my plan? FOMO is also usually a big part of this, because in the past, you may have taken a profit, but then the stock went way higher and you missed out on huge gains. Just like any other emotion, you cannot base your trades off of greed. Sometimes it is hard to know the difference between greed and a good plan. Now, there is one time that I think it is okay to be a little more greedy, and that is on your entry, not your exit. Being greedy for that perfect entry is not a bad thing. I once heard a quote from an awesome trader. It's better to wish you were in a trade than to wish you were not in a trade. You will know that that quote is true once you're in a big loss position. This goes hand in hand with waiting for those A+ setups. Being greedy for the A+ setup is not a bad thing. The moral of the story here is follow your plan, not greed. Don't feel bad for taking profits. The stock market can take what it has given you so fast you won't even know what happened. I'm not saying take profits as soon as you go green. I'm saying trade your plan. So my little tip would be to be greedy on your entry, but not your exit. This can help you improve your edges on the market. And I'll see you in the next video.